Anywho, back to it. As soon as I get my windows in order. Alright. Think we're more or less done with air quotes optional bosses.
Alright.
Which are just Spore Spawn and Crocomire. Because I don't think you need the Grapple Beam. I think with good enough wall jumps you can get anywhere that a Grapple Beam is needed. Just the Grapple makes it way easier.
Yeah.
Between walls and sparks, you can get pretty well anywhere.
Yeah, sparks. Thank God those weren't required for anything in this.
You've been doing decent with sparks, haven't you?
Yeah. Zero mission, they get silly with sparks. And, Fusion requires some tricky sparking, but nothing out of control.
And
That's
then
where all the
offers
fun-
some especially rude sparks for getting items.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fun sparks.
There is one particular that I don't know the actual story behind it, but my personal theory is there is a segment where you get trapped in a water zone and you have to do some stuff to get out of it. But through use of clever sparking, you can get out the way you came. And if you actually do this and you get to a contact room where you should not be, the game actually just like comes in and is like, well, that was actually pretty good. I didn't even think of doing a spark that way. Which just makes me think that they had arranged those rooms and then somebody in testing had found it and they're like, well, fuck, we can't go back and change those rooms. Let's just put a message in here.
Isn't the computer supposed to get angry at you if you leave that area?
I don't know if it gets angry per se.
I know that computer angry at you a few times because it's a dick.
Because you're a loose cannon.
You're a loose cannon. Ridley is only 3 days away from retirement.
Ridley, the Pokemon.
You're on thin ice, Aaron.
I got the mayor of space breathing down my neck.
Now, I still don't have many super missiles, but luckily, super missiles are actually a really bad choice for the next boss.
Having a real hard time getting my job done when the media keeps beating down my door over you blowing up another planet, Aaron.
What's this I hear about you genociding a race?
You may not go by the books, but you get results. Unfortunately, the results are genocide.
Oh, wait, oh, do I actually have to... Oh, this game does not like underwater wall jumping.
It's because you're wearing the wool suit still.
Got it. So the crumble blocks that you can grapple onto do exactly that. They crumble away after a couple seconds. They just make sure that you're not wasting your time. So yeah, we're heading towards the sunken ship now. Or the crash ship, the wreck ship. I think it's called the wreck ship.
Yeah, the wreck.
Oh, uh-oh. I did the thing. I keep doing the thing that you can do when you're grappling. The grappling is a fickle mistress.
Yeah, that's not how physics work.
That's how physics work in Metroid, because they never planned for that.
All right, so when we're at the wreck, do we get to sing the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
I'm sorry you cut out a little bit there.
It's okay. It was a stupid reference.
Piled high with space ore when the gales, space gales of November came early to space.
The legend lives on from the Chozo All Down planet they call Zebes or Zebes.
So yeah, the ship is a little spook. And sort of like in weird ordering, the first thing that we actually do when we enter the zone is fight the boss.
Yeah, that is strange. So one day at 7-Eleven, my sister found a movie called The Pirates of Ghost Island or The Ghosts of Pirate Island. I have no idea. We always call it the Ghost Pirates of Pirate Ghost Island. But it is possibly one of the worst movies I ever saw. It seemed to be just someone's film college project. It was done with 2 different cameras of various qualities, and the entire... I can't even tell you what the plot was, other than there was an island, there were ghost pirates, and some racist Japanese caricatures. It was the best $5 we ever spent.
This is Fantoon. Fantoon generally isn't too bad of a boss, but we are also not exactly super geared out. Now, I mentioned earlier that super missiles are bad for this boss. If you, I might show it off later, but if you shoot Fantoon when it's vulnerable with a super missile, it actually does a attack that deals a lot of fucking damage.
Yeah, the weapon you hit him with decides which attack pattern he'll use next, and the response to super missiles is really angry.
I might see what the missile one is. So
Missiles, I think, is pretty manageable.
Yeah.
Does it matter what beam you use? Can you
Oh
use
god,
like, the,
he's going.
All charge beams are equal.
Okay.
Or-
Missiles are bad. Missiles are bad. I've never actually seen this attack before.
Just use super bombs.
Missile is fine if you're ready to follow up on it. Deal the pile of damage. He gets up in your face, but he stays materialized for all of it.
But a proper Spazer, Wave Beam, Ice Beam, which you should have by this point. If you know, again, if you know where they're located, should always emphasize that. Deals pretty good damage to him.
Spoice beam, we call it.
The Spoizer. Oh, can you shoot him to make him advance? Oh, I died.
Well,
Phantoon it may actually be one of the harder bosses in the game. I'm gonna see if I can find something up here. I can do a small detour to get a couple of extra things. I should have the items to do it now. And I want to say that there is an energy tank up here, which makes this very worth it.
Yeah, there's one in there.
Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Yep, energy tank. There's a room behind this that leads to some more items.
Missiles mostly.
Yeah. And I feel like you might need something else, but let's look at it. A lot of this is very odd and irritating rooms to get through, but I want to say this whole room structure is built around you having the space
Just
jump.
wants you to have the attack. It'll just melt through these columns.
Yeah, and I want to say this. Nope, that can be power bomb through. Yes, this is the room. Yep. There's 2 missile tanks that you actually have to loop through that whole fucking thing to get both of them. Because fuck you.
If you know what's coming and set yourself up right on the center, you can break both sides at once.
Oh, alright. I guess.
But you probably wouldn't blind, and then you have to take one or the other.
Also, you have to know to shoot the wall. That energy tank should give me the edge I need on Phantoon. There are a couple other, like, actually, a good massive number of upgrades that I could have backtracked and gotten in, like, Criteria and Brinstar and stuff like that. But we will have to go through there anyway, eventually, to go from one zone to another. So we'll probably just pick those up then. Alright, I have to do this again. Got it. First time this time. We're making, I guess, slightly more time, but better time at the same time. I think there's actually an item below us here, but I think it is very annoying to get without the gravity suit. Alright, I returned to Ghost Town. So, this is actually just another, like, I guess annoying might be a term to use, thing about the ghost ship. But it is, like, its whole thing is it's like, oh, it's deactivated, spooky. But, nothing in it has power. You can actually find the missile station and a save station, progressing through it, but you can't use them. Which really just means that if you die to Phantoon, you have to run all the way back from your ship.
Can you power it back at all?
That is what killing Phantoon does.
Oh. So, he's a power-sucking ghost.
Apparently. Oh, God. Are you kidding me? This fucking spawning flames can hurt you. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to force him to phase change during this early part. Seems like sometimes he does it fast, sometimes he does it long. Maybe you have to shoot the flame right when it comes out of his mouth. Who knows? Somebody who looked up the AI routine. I should, you know, for shits and giggles, I am actually going to show off what happens if you shoot him with a super missile. This is extremely rude.
Let's see this.
Yeah, so this is what fucking happens. He does this shit. So like what you have to do is you have to jump over them as they're coming out. And not to say that doesn't do good damage, because that does good damage on them. But that move is like you are going to take a lot of damage. And like the charge shot doesn't even start up a routine. He just goes right into his the start of the next routine. Unless this him waving around. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the video. Let's try missile again. Now that I know what happens.
So bombs don't work on this guy, right? Power bombs?
Bombs work on very few bosses, if at all. I don't think there's any bosses that bombs work on. Alright, I just need to get through this routine. Probably this is the last time. Yes! Got him.
Sweet.
Now, one of the few things that Other M does that I actually really enjoy is that Phantoon does actually show up in that. Because I think the whole thing is Phantoon is supposed to be a ghost. Can't really kill a ghost.
Well, his name is Phantoon. He's a cartoon phantom.
But yeah, so like, the whole thing of Other M is it takes place on a derelict ship. So, once you beat the game, the whole post-game is Samus goes back to the ship to see if they can find anything.
Okay. So wait, Other M, where does it fit in the chronology of this?
So, the general chronology is it's 1, 2, all the Prime games, 3, Other M, Fusion, And then Fusion is the last game chronologically.
Okay, so somehow she shrinks down to like 5'4" or whatever.
Yeah, that's a whole another thing about Other M. God, I should
In
just,
between Super Metroid and Fusion. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I should have streamed that, or everybody else is like 11 foot tall.
Yeah, I really liked the fact that she was like really, really huge. Because what is she, 6'4" in some of the official art?
Yeah, she is a large woman. It's either the Super Metroid. I think it's the Super Metroid art that has her like in the side by side, like what it looks like if you could X-ray through the suit, and it is a extremely good piece of art.
I think it was from Nintendo Power because I had that issue.
There is a boss that power bombs work on, huh? I was unaware of that.
Well, there we go. Just use it on every boss until we can find it.
It's the first. Oh, you know what? I think I know which boss it might be. Because there are a couple more mini bosses still, so it's probably one of those. And I think I know which one. So there's actually like a ton of stuff to do in the wreck ship. There's like a lot of energy tanks and nonsense garbage to pick up. There's also a lot of rooms where you have to kill all the enemies in them in order to get out. Which is everybody's favorite kind of room.
Well, yeah. That's what power bombs excel at.
I should use
also-
power bombs more.
Revealing secrets. That's also another thing they're good at.
That's generally what I use them for. Alright. So I really like the I think I actually need to push this thing back.
So, yeah. That picture of Samus has her hair purple. Do you think she just dyed it for the photo shoot?
She's blonde in this one, so that might be a Ness.
No, that's from Super Metroid.
Is it? Okay. Wonder if that was promotional or not.
It's a Nintendo Power thing. I don't know. Maybe they thought if she has purple hair, it's way more like she's from space.
Guess there's nothing more to this room. It's just the missile tank.
Yeah, it says Samus is 6'3" and 198 pounds. Which, once again, makes a lot of sense.
It's a big suit.
No, that's her without the suit.
Well, no, I said like, yes, probably from using the suit.
Yeah. I mean, that much wool is heavy.
Especially with how much she's in and out of water.
That's right.
Alright, so out here, there's all these platforms flying around that you can actually like, get on and go around and find items, but that is a lot of time, and I think they're all missile tanks.
You're done what? 3/4 of the bosses?
Something like that.
There's 4 bosses you need in order to open up the final area, if I remember correctly.
I am... Ah, yes. See, once again, you go through this whole puzzle thing for a missile tank. No. No, we've only killed half of the major bosses. We've killed Kraid, and we have killed Fontoon.
Okay, so you need Ridley, and then you need
I
whoever
don't
gives you
remember
the space
its
jump.
I don't remember its name. It's the boss of the water zone, but it's like Dragor or something like that.
Okay. Why don't we just call him like Bill?
Yeah, Bill. Bill the sea serpent. Bill the crustacean.
Old Crabby Bill.
Alright, time to insert myself into the Chozo. And this is when I drink some water. Dragon. There we go. That was close.
Isn't that one of the dragons from Game of Thrones? No, that's Drogon. Never mind.
I'd believe it.
Oh, looks like that statue is going to, bowl you when it's holding you there.
I know, right? It's just like, pick me up and toss me. Boop.
And Samus goes into the gutter.
And now we have cool new threads.
All right. We've now waterproofed the wool.
The wool has been water treated.
That's right.
Now you could continue, or there's this little area back here. You get to be rude to these robots.
This is one of these games where you can just be a jerk.
And I love it.
All right. Okay. So Dr. Kraid has definitely not been spending his resources wisely. He's
Well-
been making walking refrigerators.
This might not be Kraid's doing. Remember, this is just a
Okay.
derelict ship.
Okay. So these were 1950s robots.
Alright, so I want to say, and I will test this with a power bomb, the middle is... No, it's not crumble blocks, okay. You just walk over and take your reserve tank. Reserve tanks are weird because they're just extra energy tanks. It's all they are. They're just there and they refill your health.
Extra energy tanks with a widget on them.
I think I'll go into the...
Oh,
menu.
you can have them. You can have them auto deploy, or you can set them to manual in case you want to manually decide when you get the rest of your health.
It's weird. Mainly because the auto deploy is when you're out of health. So like, no, I don't want to survive this fight. I want to die. I feel like this might be a Trixie Shine Spark here.
Well, does it give you more health if you, manually deploy it? No?
No, it
So
doesn't.
it's not like a Zelda fairy.
Nope, they're just there, or they're not there.
It's just more health.
Yeah, turn the tanks on. Speaking of
They
funny,
ran out of space on the UI, but still wanted to give you more health.
yeah. Speaking of really hilarious fantasy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I was going through Tumblr the other day, and a post pointed out a really good bit of incidental dialogue in one of the Mass Effect games. Just like one says, like, it's just this commander yelling at one of his gunners, or some of his gunners, and he's like, "Today we're learning about the rudest person in space, Sir Isaac Newton." And the gunners are just like ridiculously confused, and they're like, you gunner, what is Isaac's first law of motion or gravity or whatever? And the gunner's like, an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. And he's like, that is right. So when you fire this gun, it will hit that ship, or it'll hit the planet behind that ship, or it'll hit the planet 3 galaxies over. It will hit something. So whenever you fire this gun, you are ruining someone's day somewhere. And I think the end of that whole thing, because I think there's a bit more to it, but the end of it is, and that is why we don't just eyeball it.
Well, you know what? That's some good gun safety.
It's a good
Don't fire a
thing.
gun.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you never really like think about in your space fantasy stuff of just like that. Those shots that are missing are just gonna keep going, and eventually they'll hit something. And to make it even better, there's like a logbook entry about like this one specific armada ship, and its whole thing is like on one day during one of its like standard patrols, it was hit like broadside by a piece of ammunition. It's like nobody knows where this ammunition came from, but judging by the age and like carbon wear on it, it was over a millennia old. So
Oh,
it was like
dear.
it was like from 2 galaxies over.
Well, yeah. You know how good we had before Isaac Newton invented those laws?
No, what do we have?
Well, a bullet would just stop if it didn't hit what it needed to.
I don't think.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Bullets before, Isaac Newton came up with gravity. Before Newton invented gravity.
Yeah, that's right. People stay on the ground through sheer force of will.
Yeah, and once he invented gravity, people were like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to focus on this anymore."
That's right. It was very kind to people in Australia.
Why Australia?
Well, because they had to hang on to the ground.
I'm not following the joke here.
Well, they're on the bottom of the planet, right?
Oh, God damn it. God damn it. So I'm actually going to the front entrance to this zone. There is a back entrance. So you remember the that underwater tube that we would sometimes go through while in Brinstar when going towards Norfair?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that.
No.
If you detonate a power bomb in that tube, it actually explodes the tube. And you can actually get into this zone, Meridia, that way. But at the time, you won't have, like, the gravity suit, so it'll just be a struggle to get back into that tube. What I'm actually doing wrong here, and if I wanted to, use up maybe a bit more of my time doing, maybe gearing up a bit more, I could actually run through the entirety, like run back through Brinstar, grab some of the items there, and then pop out Meridia at the tube.
Oh, it's a nice view,
Yeah, this
background and everything.
the zone looks really nice. You know what, actually, we've been going for about 2 hours and it's about 11 o'clock, so I think I'm going to call it here for this night. We'll finish this up next week.
Okay.
So long. That's a weird outro for a video.